Hello everybody and welcome to this instructional video about 1 and 3 card spreads. My name is Andrew. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, I am an intuitive medium, tarot card reader, energy healer, teacher about tarot, teacher about angels, and my mission is to bring the world of angels down to earth. I have 2 oracle decks. I have the Angels and F-Bombs Oracle, and I also have the Shits and Giggles Oracle. If you like this video and you want to work with me, I do have a training called How to Read a Fucking Card. It is a PDF. You get card spreads, you get the differences between tarot and oracle cards, and how to dive deeper into cards that you choose. That will be coming back very soon, so you can subscribe to this channel. You can follow me on Instagram at Tarot with Andrew. That is where I stay. You can sign up for my mailing list on tarotangel444.com. So this is not going to be a very long video. We're just going to talk about, like I said, 1 and 3 card spreads. So the deck that we're going to be using today is the Modern Witch Tarot. I love this deck because the cardstock is so good. If you are just now getting into tarot, you're going to realize that very quickly that cardstock really makes or breaks a deck. And if you've been into tarot for a long time, then you already know this, that if you shuffle cards for a living, you want to make sure the cards are going to hold up. And this is by far one of the best decks I have ever had tarot-wise for cardstock. And it is published by Sterling Ethos, Liminal 11. So that's where it's manufactured, and then this Liminal 11 is the publishing house. They have a lot of really great decks. They have the Luna Soul Tarot as well, but this deck is just amazing. It also serves a very good purpose for this video. So the first thing we're going to be talking about is a 1 card spread. So even if it's just 1 card, it is still a spread. It is still something you use to get guidance. Now, 1 card spreads are universally useful. They are great for quick hit guidance. They can give you the details about the energy around a person, a place, or situations. So, I mean, literally, it's exactly what it sounds like with whatever tarot or oracle deck you have, because this video is for oracle decks as well, even though I am using a tarot deck. Let's say this is the card you draw, and it is the 7 of Pentacles, which is actually very funny because the 7 of Pentacles is actually one of the card of the days from the tarot lady, Teresa Reed, on the day that I am filming this, which is pretty interesting. So this isn't going to be a video that talks about tarot card meanings. Like, we're not going to go into the meaning of every card. We're not going to do that. So I would highly suggest getting you a really, really good tarot book. If you really like meaty, chunky books, then Holistic Tarot by Benabel Wynn is a great book to kind of dive into. There are also tons of other books by Betty Tarot. Ethany has a book called Your Tarot Court if you struggle with court cards. And obviously my How to Read a Fucking Card training. But you need a book. You would need a tarot book if you're new to that as well. You can also use the book that comes with the deck, or just watch YouTube videos, because who really cares? So if you are looking at the energy of a person and you draw the 7 of Pentacles, I will say a 1 card reading is really great for hit it and quit it readings. It's not necessarily a end all be all for a reading. Especially for very deep situations. These are more like, you know, give me a quick hit of guidance so I can do a reading about it later. So the energy around a person when you have the 7 of Pentacles is definitely going to be someone that is slower moving. The energy around that person is that they are working on a lot. They are waiting for things to happen. They are putting a lot of energy into things, and they're taking care of things, and they're just waiting for things to start and to go. If this is the energy around a place, it may feel like a very homey place. The 7 of Pentacles is a card about really having patience. So you may want to, if this card comes up around, like, what's the energy around the new apartment I'm getting? Like, you may want to be super patient with it. You may want to be super patient with the process. And also, if it's a situation, obviously, like, being patient, realizing that nothing happens overnight, and Rome wasn't built in a day, and just to calm down. Now, if we put this card back in the deck, we're gonna look at the card of the day spread, which is essentially just the same thing. It's just all about intention when you're shuffling. So when I'm shuffling, I'm like, what is my card for the day? And you have the Six of Swords. So the thing about the card of the day, the minor arcana are pretty much, you know, those cards that deal with the kind of everyday life aspect of things, like the, you know, the thoughts, the emotions, you know, things like that, like your career. The major arcana are the cards in the deck that, I mean, really deal with, you know, a lot of the bigger overarching themes of your life. So moving this card aside for a second, I do want to give you a note about drawing the major arcana cards as cards of the day. So the card of the day energy is just for a day, right? It's just for, you know, until the start of the next day. So the one thing you want to keep in mind, so like let's say you draw the death card and you start freaking out because, oh my God, it's the death card. And everything's just gonna, you know, go to hell in a handbasket. But when you draw the death card for your card of the day, it really could just simply be about ending the way you're doing something and beginning something new, right? Or accepting something that maybe you were just like, I shouldn't do that anymore, like, you know, changing a habit or something like that, like something that's not overarching, like huge and doom and gloom. Now, the thing about this is you can have a life-changing day. You can have one day where everything changes. But with the death card, it is very highly unlikely if you draw this card twice or you draw two major arcana cards that you're going to have a two crazy life-changing events. So realize that for the card of the day, sometimes I tend to approach it as this is a diluted card meaning for the day. It's not a it's not gonna be a huge crazy day. And so that's just kind of like a note to not get scared if you draw like a major arcana or like one of the scary major arcanas like the Devil or Death or the Tower, you know, stuff like that. So that's just a quick note about that, so don't freak out. So if you draw the Six of Swords for your card of the day, that means you're probably going to be trying to think better thoughts and things of that nature. So or you're being told to move to a better mindset. This could also be considered kind of like a turning your back on something you don't want to look at kind of thing. Now with the card of the day, if this is something that I used to do, not something that I do anymore, but I tend to recommend it, is journaling. So if you draw the Six of Swords, open up and write a few sentences about, okay, well, this is, you know, what I think this card means for me, like blah, 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 like my theme for the day is blah, 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 and then revisit that at the end of the day. Now, some people like drawing a card at the end of the day to see like how accurate the card is about the day that they had. That works too. It really does. It really just depends on what you would like to do and what you want to do. Now, that's just kind of your prerogative. That's your choice. But you can choose to do either one of those. So this is a card of the day spread. And you can also do this just for one card spreads as well. But I think it's helpful when you are first starting out to take note of like the ways that card may have shown up during the day and kind of look at it and kind of get back into that space of like, oh wow, like I really did experience, you know, X, Y, Z today. So just a little note there. So when we are looking at 3-card spreads, the most popular spread that you're going to see is going to be the past, present, and future spread. So we are going to, and now different people draw different ways. Some people will just draw the first 3 cards on the top of the deck. I tend to be the kind of person where I'm like, what's the energy for the past? I'm like, what's the energy for the present? And what's the energy for the future? Or when I say future, I mean most likely outcome. I do believe that our fates can change or twist a little bit. So I tend to not read predictively unless I just know something's going to happen. Oh, this is a very a very interesting reading. So like I said, past, present, future, most popular spread by far. It is the it's the end all be all of, you know, the go-tos on tarot apps, on pretty much everything is this spread. And this is a good quick hit guidance too for situations. So past, present, future. So if we're looking at this as a holistic reading, right, just for a situation, we see that this person's probably been taking a lot of time out for themselves, or they've probably been forced to take a lot of time out for themselves, but that time has led to kind of a new drive and a new way of thinking and a new way of being. And then the future is going to have more of a intuitive vibe versus a going super crazy, going into your thoughts and being like, I know this, I got this, this is, you know, the best thing in the world, I know what I'm doing. So the future has the querent moving from this place of inspired thought to this place of being receptive and listening to their intuition. And, you know, knowledge and intuition do actually work together. They are not separate. They are two sides of the same coin. So let's say that you don't want to do past, present, future. Let's say that just doesn't make sense for your particular situation. You can also do option 1, option 2, and guidance. So if you have option 1, option 2, and guidance, you have option 1 is going to require you to like really rest up. It's going to require you and maybe even cause you to need to take a break. Option 2 is going to be what brings you that power to get done what you want to get done. And the guidance is going to be using your intuition to really choose and fill out what you are looking to accomplish. Now, you can also do this as a relationship reading. So you, the other person in the relationship, you can do this as opportunity, challenges, and kind of how to navigate that. You can also do mind, body, and spirit. So keep in mind too that cards are going to take on different meanings, obviously, using the spread that, you know, deciding on what spread you use. So obviously this is going to take on a different meaning in the past position than it will in the mind position or in the you or the other person position. So if you're new to tarot, I would suggest having a guidebook ready if you're practicing spreads, but also to make a note of them, to draw out the spreads in a notebook. So like draw 3 squares and just write down what the cards are and what you get, and write down what you get before you look at the guidebook. That's very important. Write down what you get before you look at the guidebook. Because that's going to be kind of a cool thing for you to just tap into your intuition beforehand. Something that really worked with me when it came to learning tarot and reading tarot is you want to tell a story. So these 3 cards would definitely be telling a story of someone who really began to take a lot of time out for themselves. So if I was reading for a client and I saw this, I'd be like, I really do see that you, in the past, in the recent past even, was taking a lot of time out for yourself. Maybe you were feeling overburdened. Knowing that this card comes after the 3 of Swords, kind of after a period of like, oh my God, kind of stuff. I would be like, I see that you kind of took some time out for yourself. And because you took that time out for yourself, you've now grown into this place of having a clearer line of thought, having a clearer direction as far as the thoughts that you want to go. But I also see you using those tools and using those thoughts to bring in more of a practice of intuition into your life, and trusting your intuition and trusting your gut. So that's how you just tell a story. So what's the beginning of the story? What's the middle of the story? And how will that story most likely end? Right? It's not scary. We're going to be going over more spreads in these videos. So I'm going to be doing a Celtic cross. I'm going to be doing all kinds of other spreads. So make sure if you like this video that you subscribe down below, that you give me a thumbs up, and you can book a reading with me at the links in my the link in my bio, the link in the descriptions down here. All right, I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you later. Bye.